Well, we're here with Katie Maiello and Chris Burch, who are here this week with the Missoula Children's Theatre. Hi, guys. Welcome to Valemount.
Hi.
So, how long have you been here? When did you get here?
We got into Valemount on Sunday night. Yes.
And what have you done so far?
We got some dinner the first night, got to explore local food here. Yesterday we actually went out to the lake here and did some hiking, and of course working with the kids.
Oh, nice. Okay, and how are you finding the kids so far? So just for the viewers, this is Wednesday, the show's on Friday. You've only had a couple days to rehearse with them, so, or actually cast and then rehearse. So.
I gotta say, these is one of the most fun group of kids we've met yet. They're just so hardworking, they're so talented, and they're just like, not only are they good listeners, but they're really down to just enjoy this and have so much fun with it.
They're cracking us up every day, and we have to like calm down from laughing because they're just have really good sense of humor and are really good at just like following directions, paying attention, so respectful. We're having a blast with them.
Great. So let's talk about the tour. Where are you on this big long tour? How long is the whole tour, and where are you?
So it's a 5-month tour. We started in January, so we are about 3-4 months into it. We were mostly touring in Washington State. We did a tour a week in Portland, Oregon, and now the whole rest of the time we're in British Columbia. So we'll be doing BC, April, and May.
Oh, nice. Nice. And so where are you going from here?
From here, we'll be going to Squamish, British Columbia.
Oh, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Okay, well, let's talk about you guys. So, obviously, you're working in children's theater. How did you get into theater to begin with, and how did you make the jump into children's theater?
Sure.
I've got a bit of a funny story with that. It took me actually a little while to get into the theater. I was in 8th grade, and I was like, I didn't really have much to do after school. I was just kind of like, I was a good kid, I got good grades, and my parents were like, you don't do anything after school. Like, you need an extracurricular activity. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my friend was in a drama class at the time, and he was like, it's really fun, come try out, you just sign up for it and like take it. And I absolutely fell in love. And ever since then, I've just been doing it more and more. With this particular job, I had been to several like theater conferences to audition, get my face out there, and it was a company that I was familiar with from, they had called me back to do interviews, and it just hadn't been the right time until this time. And I am so grateful that I took the opportunity to come and be involved with it.
What do you like about working in children's theater?
I love the spontaneity of children, and I love how they don't second guess themselves. They don't judge themselves on their choices. There's a couple of lines in this show that we were like, this is so funny, this needs to be in, because they just came up with it off the top of their head, and it was so funny. It's just, I love how fresh every single week is, and how different each group of children are. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Katie, how'd you get involved?
My story is a little different from Chris's. I've been doing theater my entire life. When I was 5 years old, I started in my school's Christmas pageant, and so I've kind of been doing every single thing I could do from that point on. If there was ever a school play or a dance recital or music class, chorus class, I signed up for everything. So I've kind of been performing my entire life. And then shortly after college, I was going to theater conference auditions similar to Chris, and I actually started my journey with Missoula Children's Theater in 2012, and that was shortly after I graduated college. Same thing, I went to a theater conference, they were there, and just hearing their story and what they do was just so fantastic, and that's what reeled me in.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's talk about this play. So what is the play? What are we seeing this week?
So we are doing King Arthur's Quest. It's a story of King Arthur and all of his noble companions. And the story kind of brings it to the point that you can't accomplish things on your own. You need a team of people with you. And when you try to accomplish stuff on your own, sometimes it's too much for one person to handle. So you kind of see that you need the help of the knights, the squires, the queens, everybody all working together to achieve a common goal. Mm-hmm.
So it's a great lesson little wrapped in there for kids as well.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the other fun thing about this show is that lots of people are familiar with the story of King Arthur, like kind of generally. You know, we have those iconic images like the sword being pulled out of the stone, the Lady of the Lake, all these characters. And this show kind of takes those expectations and turns them on their head a little bit. It's sort of like, well, what if the sword was never pulled out of the stone? What if, you know, the Merlin, his magic wasn't always the way it's supposed to be? What if his spell sometimes hit the wrong person? It's things like that to keep us questioning and be really enjoyable for the parents as well as the kids.
Mm-hmm. Right. So run us through the character list for this particular play.
Sure. So the older kids in the show are playing Arthur, Guinevere, Lancelot, who's a knight, Merlin, a wizard, Taliesin, a singer, Raven, a bird. Some of the other older kids are playing Morgan Le Fay, which is the sister of the king, Mordred, the son of the King, Lady of the Lake, and Uther Pendragon, the ghost of his father. And
then past that, we also have a group of knights. We have a group of squires who all have their own personalities. We've got the damsels in distress, who are this really funny group of maidens who are always running from something and always really panicky. The Camelottians are the citizens of Camelot. They're very angry because they don't get paid enough money, and they're also just like a really fun group of people. And there's also the mini cast.
Yes. So the mini cast are smaller versions of some of the leads in the show. So the knights and the squires and King Arthur all leave the stage one way, and then the minis come on the other way in the same exact costumes, and they're even smaller. So when there's the scene with the giant, who I play, it makes me look taller because all the little guys are smaller. So.
Oh, that's going to be great. Yeah. So you've been working with the Valemount kids. Is there a funny story you've got so far, or has it been too soon for that?
Probably the hamster story.
Okay, yeah. So this is kind of refers to what I said earlier about an extra line. We have one of the kids playing, the kid playing Lancelot, Garrett, is naturally a very funny person. And we were just doing a run-through or general rehearsal, and there's this sequence of lines where Merlin threatens to turn the ghost into a hamster if it appears again. And Lancelot's line is, "Oh, well, let us hope it doesn't come to that." And he just completely improvised a line where he goes, "Oh, let us hope it doesn't come to that. I'm allergic." And I laughed so hard. We all did. It was a really nice moment for all of us. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this call. We're going to put that line in. And I was like, we're keeping it under control, but we're going to put that in. And it's really fun. Those things, like, I live for those moments in rehearsal. It's so great.
Let me ask you kind of a serious question, because you've been on this tour for quite a while. Working with kids, do you have a story of somebody that you started with that was, very shy, very hard to bring out of their shell, and then by the showtime or maybe even, into the rehearsals, they kind of blossomed? Is there something like that you can share?
I actually feel like that happens almost every week. Every week we go to a school, there's always someone who's like at the audition, you can tell they're more timid, but this is going to be a great thing for them. And like you said, through the course of the week, you see things happen. The confidence comes in, and by show day, they're saying their lines even louder than kids that on the first day were really rambunctious. So it's not even, we could tell a story from every single week. That's just one of the things that happens with Missoula Children's Theater productions. Right. Yeah,
that's really nice. What is the funniest story you've had on the tour so far? There must be something crazy.
Oh my gosh. There's just so many times. Oh, I know. Okay. Yeah. So one of the things we do on Thursday nights, so the kids we rehearse with will find this out tomorrow, is we do, after they've run through the whole show like 2 times, they already know the show. They know what they're doing, so we like to mix it up for them. So we do what we call a 200% run through, where we have the kids just go completely over the top, saying their lines 200% loud, 200% clear. If they're supposed to be sad, we make them be 200% sad. And there was one week where the kids, like, instead of doing it 200%, did it like 500%. Like 500%. And we actually had to be like, guys, you're gonna lose your voices. You need to calm down. Like, thank you for doing this. We had to pull them back a little bit. So we were just we couldn't keep going because we couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny.
And then we found this nice balance of like all that awesome energy and also like keeping in with like under control, and it ended up being like a
really good show.
Performance.
Yeah. So the kids we're working with this week are so funny already. So we're excited to see tomorrow night when we do the 200% run through what they do. It's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm guessing 500% is about right.
Yeah, probably.
What are the big moments that we should watch for in the show?
Let's see. I think there's a couple of surprises with the ghost. There's a couple of surprises with Taliesin, and each of the nights, like I said, they're each so different. I think it's not like, even though it's one group, they're so different, each of them. And really, it's the same thing with the Camelottians and the damsels as well. Everybody gets their own kind of moment to be their own full character, not just, I don't know, damsel 1, damsel 2. They each have a distinct personality, and I think that's something really exciting for people to watch for.
Yeah, just to pick out within each group. Oh, that's the angry knight. Oh, that's the scared knight, instead of just looking at them as one group. And then also watching out for all the younger kids scenes are really great. Everybody loves the dragon scene. When the dragon comes out, it's always this huge laugh. So that's always a really fun part. And then just to see the character arcs of the characters at the beginning who are like bossy and bratty, just seeing how they turn out at the end. Right. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. So when are the shows? When are the performances?
The first performance is this Friday at 4:30, and then we have a second performance Friday as well at 7 o'clock.
Okay. And what do you guys got planned for free time for the rest of your time in Valemount?
Well, conveniently enough, we're in such a beautiful place.
Yes.
So already, like Katie said, we got to do a little bit of outdoor stuff. We're planning on hopefully doing some more of that, doing maybe some hiking. It's not too cold right now, so we're actually able to be
Yeah.
outside more often. Saturday is completely free, so we're gonna try to explore as much as we can and just like take in all this stuff before we leave.
Well, awesome. Well, again, welcome to Valemount. Have a great time while you're here, and we're looking forward to seeing the show.
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.